team sustainability. I think ultimately we went in the direction of looking at takeout experiences and how we could make that process, that experience more sustainable. So I guess a few things to note. We were looking at like the aftermath of COVID, how takeout's kind of more popular, it's becoming the norm. All these food delivery apps put like a bag in a bag in a bag, and it's kind of just like, how could we improve that process? And like what is happening to those takeout containers after someone orders and eats their food. So yeah, objective was to identify opportunities to reduce and reuse during that process, and also just reimagine what takeout could look like, how restaurants could kind of contribute to a better alternative. These are just some more pictures from yesterday of our research. So we talked to 4 restaurants in the area. We went to Viet Vana, Euro Bros, walked into Starbucks, and stopped into Waffle House quickly. So yeah, just looking to ask these restaurants questions, and then also find people on the streets that order takeout, which is a lot of people. Just to understand like how often takeout occurs, what kind of packaging is being used out there, and just ways that people like perceive takeout and different types of packaging. You guys feel free to jump in if you. So yeah, I won't go through all of this, and our boards are up there too. But I think, at least for me, like I was surprised to see like how many orders are takeout. Maybe it's just because of the student population, but at least like 50%, 40 to 50%, or Eurobros was 85%, were takeout orders. There's also like considerations around like what's included in the bag. So like there's all these different types of things within another bag, and then there's things like utensils and napkins and sauce packets that don't really get used. So kind of looking in that area as well, like where could that be reduced or reused? Other insights. Yeah, there's a big perception piece around sustainable packaging. So like a lot of people we talked to, not necessarily restaurants, but they said like if I see a reusable container, that kind of equals higher quality food, or like I kind of think better of that restaurant. So like kind of like positive perception towards that. And yeah, it's kind of interesting talking to restaurants overall. I think yeah, kind of funny, just like funny considerations towards sustainability, and I think people are trying in this area, but not quite getting there. So anything else before we go into?
There is one which has different packaging for different stores, so location also matters. Like they sell plastic box here, but some other location they have styrofoam boxes.
Oh yeah.
So that was interesting.
Starbucks uses reusable cups. Like
yeah.
We asked about that.
But only 10%. I think 8 people or 9 people use the reusable stuff, and they gave a 10% discount.
Yeah, and then Starbucks said they still write the name on a paper cup. Even if someone brings in a reusable cup, they write the name on the cup so that they have like, it's probably inventory or something, but like defeats the purpose. Anyway.
So they throw it away. They just write it.
I'm assuming so, yeah. And then it's just like, I was like, interesting. Okay. But yeah, talking to Viet Vana was funny because he actually did the ordering and purchasing of inventory, and so he said he had a location in Gwinnett, and they use styrofoam because it's kind of just, people don't necessarily care, but he said because they're in Midtown in this location and trying to kind of set a standard, I guess, they opt for that like more expensive material. And customers too, if they get that reusable container, they will reuse it. I think they keep it as like Tupperware in their house. Yeah, so, yep, big how might we is how can we encourage and enable consumers and restaurants to reduce and reuse packaging? And I will turn it over to.
So then we mapped the service origami, and we looked into how restaurant backend works. So like they make decisions. So there's a manager who will make decisions on the budgeting, and then he hires an external researcher and they help them decide which packaging and what the customers are. Based on that, based on the meal plan, like the menu plan with the chef, they also decide the sizing proportions and stuff, and order the inventory. Majorly from the storefront, the user makes a decision like based on factors like is he eating alone, or is he at work or home, and is there a party or something. Based on that, he makes a decision, and he might visit store or might go for delivery, but we're focusing on takeout, so we're focusing on going to a store and buying. So here he basically nowadays people just give in use and throw boxes, so that we are planning on changing. So that is our like as is journey map. But for what we are planning on changing in the service is we are trying to introduce a deposit box. And what the deposit box will be doing is it is going to the user is going to come in and he's going to get like a reusable box. Like he's going to purchase a box, a reusable box, and he's going to go around and he's going to take the order and he's going to go back. And when he comes in the second time, he can just deposit it and get a coupon, and then he can give it to the server, and the server can fill the box again. And so it is like a circular economy. The main problem that we're trying to solve is people don't want to wash. Neither the restaurants or the users, they don't want to wash, because for the restaurants they have to hire more staff for doing that. So in order to resolve that, we're hiring an external agency. Do you want to demonstrate?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So basically, he gives me, so I take it out, I use it, and when I get it back, I just put it in, I get a code, and I give it to the chef or whoever the server is, and he's going to give me another box. And the cleaning company will eventually decide the time duration, and they're just going to come and going to take this, get it washed, and give it to the store back again. So that's how we how does this relate to the theme that's build rebuild? So we are bringing back the theme of how people used to give back. I mean, deposit the collection and used to get $1 or something. So we're trying to introduce that into the whole ecosystem.
We're rebuilding the system.
Yes.
Any questions?
So, I've seen like a similar model like in Europe, where if you buy a drink, they like give you the cup, and it's like an extra euro until you bring back the cup. Would you see this as like, because for that you have to bring it back to like the same restaurant, like the same stall? Would you see this as like abstracted away from the individual restaurant, or is it still like I have to bring that Tupperware to the place that I live?
For now, we're focusing on people who are loyal to like a loyal customer. But if it works out, we can expand it to having, if the restaurants would like to collaborate together and have the same dishes, that could be a situation.
It's kind of interesting. Like you could look at franchises or like more of a food court scenario, for example, or just big hubs where it's more more prevalent or more accessible for larger parts of the community.
For now, it could be just food chains.
Yeah, because like I can see like the